All right, well, I'm going to start today's call with a quote, and the quote is this: think as a winner and act as a winner. You'll be quite likely to achieve your goal. And that quote is from Enzo Ferrari. And if we look at that quote and think about it just briefly, when we use the biggest tool we got is between our ears, it's our brain. And if you're not thinking as a winner and you're not acting like a winner, you're quite likely to fail. And in this failure, you can do a lot of judgment, what happened, poor me. But instead of focusing on the negative, this phrase is very positive. If you think as a winner and act as a winner, you will be quite likely to achieve your goal. And today, we're going to focus in on just some deciding factors in achieving things in your life. There are some common threads. And when you look at this, people that have achieved anything in their life, if you boil it down and you ask a couple questions, what do you think helped you achieve? There are some common threads in this. Number one, have a target. I know that Zig Ziglar is one of my heroes in life and inspired me way early in my adulthood. But Zig had this story that he always would share where he said that he could be a better bow target person than the national champion. Now, the national champions, I don't recall his name, but the national champion literally could hit a bullseye and many times hit the bow in the bullseye. He was that accurate and good. And here's Zig Ziglar saying, I could be a better, and he is not a bowsman. He is not someone that would be considered an expert in hitting the target. But here he is confidently saying he could hit the mark better than this national champion. All he had to do was blindfold the national champion, spin him around 10 times into a circle real quickly, and say, hit the target. Now, in this example, Zig said that if he was not blindfolded, then he could see the target. And he was comparing this national champion blindfolded and off focus, a little bit dazed and dizzy. Who has a better chance of hitting that target? Well, I'll pick Zig in this example. So the mission is have a target. If you don't have a target, how are you going to achieve anything? We first got to have a detailed, specific target. What is your goal? And then at the end of deciding what you want to achieve, then you have to have a plan. Anyone that succeeds in anything, you can set a target. At the time you set the target, it's a item on a piece of paper. It's a number on a piece of paper. It's nothing. It's just a target you set at that point. You have to have a plan. Map out what needs to be done to reach or achieve the target and set a completion date. And if you have a plan of action and you think through it, if you have team members, include the team in developing the action plan, then set a completion date. The third common thread that we look at in this is commit without compromise. Probably my favorite example on this is myself, and I can point out flaws in myself often and regular and be very accurate. But I love to eat good foods. I love cheesecake, for example, with nice caramel sauce on it. Oh man, that's some good stuff. But if I have a goal to be healthy and lose weight, how much cheesecake can I consume? And will it help me to reach the goal I set? The fact is, that's where people fall short. That's where many people fall short. They commit, but yet compromise. They say, I will achieve this result. I have a target. I have a plan. I need to exercise. I need the right foods. I'm going to lose weight. But if you don't commit without compromise, your chance of success is limited, because the more you compromise, the less result, and then the further it seems for a reach to success. I know in my viewpoint, one of the things in it's evident right now is the United States government refuses to compromise. So when I'm sitting here saying commit without compromise, I definitely don't mean the way our government functions. Discussion and compromise in that case, man, wouldn't that be a wonderful thing if they were talking and trying to work out issues the American people are facing? In this example, commitment without compromise means the commitment to your target. The determination inside your own gray matter between your ears that says, I will achieve this targeted result. Here is my plan to do it, and I am not going to compromise on it. I'm going to avoid the cheesecake. I'm going to avoid the large meals. I'm going to eat better quality foods. And guess what happens? When you've developed a plan and you implement it without action, it doesn't take much to see yourself with the result. Whenever we're going through this commitment, never say things like, I don't have time, I can't, I won't, it's not my job. These things are, if you allow them to become thoughts, day-to-day thoughts, or excuses of why your commitment isn't working, very easy, because one thing that we all do to some degree or another is fear failure. We fear that we're not going to reach our target. We're not going to have a good implementation on our planning. And what we do with that is we develop excuses, reasons why we're going to fail, that justify it in our own minds. Geez, the world's against us. Couldn't achieve this result. Didn't hit the target again. That's my nature. That's common. But we overstate the excuses, and we don't focus in on the positive. Again, back to this weight example, if you've gone through a day or two without compromise and you've exercised and you've achieved a result, you lost a pound. You focus in on the interim result, that your commitment to your target and your plan is working. Not why it can't work. Why you make excuse and allow compromise, you'll never achieve the result. And the fourth common thread of winning, the fourth common thread, is to visualize the achievement. Now, in this weight example, it could be that you have the goal weight of losing 20 pounds, and you could find a photo of something where someone is at that weight and put that in front of you. Visualize what that is going to be like. to be that weight. We're coming into summer, and your self-esteem goes up when you have this trend, when you think as a winner, when you act as a winner, when you have your goals. Your self-esteem goes up, your finances improve, and your status improves. What is the downside of these processes? What is the downside of these common threads? If you use these four common threads, there is no downside. There's only upside. There's only success of achieving your goals. And then, what's the upside? Well, that's automatic. That's easy to see. That's what I want you to focus on. Visualize the upside. So now, I would say those are the four common threads I want to focus in on. And when we're doing this, let me challenge you with a question. What's your target in your dealership? What's your target? Is it gross profit growth? Is it to be 20% over last year's performance in gross profit? If that would be your goal, then what would your plan be? It might include a customer satisfaction goal. One of the things I really love about the dealership world and the dealership business is when you think about one goal that you can set, it's intriguing to me how they all kind of intertwine. If you want to increase gross profit, guess what? That might include a customer satisfaction goal. Or the customer satisfaction goal might be a part of your plan. And I will tell you to never think any of this with a limit. It's intriguing to me that you might have a goal of 20% growth and achieve a 35% growth. But if you do have a result that's exceeding your goal, never allow yourself to think, well, I've got it, I can pull back the throttle, I can pull my foot off the accelerator, maybe I can start to compromise. I lost 3 pounds this week. If your goal was to achieve a repair order count growth and you're reaching that goal, does that mean I can let up? Maybe I don't have to do what I was doing. Maybe I don't have to be so committed to the plan without compromise. Maybe I can compromise a little bit, and then the result changes. The failure arrives. So what's your target? What's the achievement you want to have? Regardless of what it is in life, if you're in the dealership business, you'll see how they all intertwine with our self-esteem and determination and not compromise. These four common threads. Have a target. Have a plan. Commit. And visualize. If you have any questions or comments on the call, you can always push the number 1. Mike, our moderator, will see your hand is raised and acknowledge you. And if not, we'll go conclude today's call. Mike?
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, Rob, this is Clayton. I have to agree with you on really everything you've said today. And I just wanted to add one thing. Sometimes we look at things too much, I guess, like adults. And when I used to talk to my guys, I said, what you have to try to do, and it's hard to do, is go back to when you were a kid and when your parents were telling you, whatever you think you can do, and remember the things that you accomplished just by keeping that positive image in your mind, whether it was getting an A on a test, whether it was getting on the basketball team, whatever it was, you pushed yourself hard because you kept that image in your mind. And as adults, sometimes we forget that. If we just kind of go back and also tell our guys that just keep that image, whatever you want to achieve in your mind, a vacation with your spouse. That's the things that we have to keep in mind when we set goals.
Those are great comments. Is there anyone else? Appreciate those comments. Very accurate. Very fortunate to have parents to give that kind of direction. All right, Mike, any other questions?
Nope, not at this time, Rob.
If not, thank you, everybody, for your attendance. As always, we appreciate it. And if you have any ideas or suggestions for these calls, always email us. Get on our website. Mike Sebo is the moderator, and my name's Rob Gehring, and I'll always answer your email requests and try to coordinate that into an upcoming call. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Have a great week.